Hello, and welcome to the Nights in the Nightmare Let's Play. This will be video 18, covering scene 14. Now, the original plan was for me to make a recap video, something that would cover the characters and the plot, and kind of hopefully illustrate what's going on in this game. Unfortunately, it's been taking much more time than I expected. A shitload more time. On top of that, recently I've run into problems with the external hard drive I've used to store all of my gameplay videos, and that's what I've been using as archival resources to post like screen caps or screenshots of something someone said, that kind of thing. Because of that, I can't really work on the recap video right now, so I figured, well, let's do a gameplay video. And actually that works for me too, because I want to play the game some more. I kind of miss playing it. So, without further ado, let's get back into it. Okay, here we are at the inventory screen. You may recall that at the end of the last video, I did not save after this inventory screen. The reason being, I wasn't confident that I would have the right setup for the next scene, the scene 14, where we fight the boss, Melissa. Turns out it was a good thing I didn't save, because there are some adjustments I need to make before we go on to scene 14. In addition, we mentioned in the thread that we're going to start upgrading some weapons to hopefully introduce some new rush count effects in the game. So without further ado, let's see what was selected in the thread. I believe the first request was for a bow that was Sanctity class, or Sanctity Elemental Affinity, excuse me. The request was the one with the coolest name. Well, between Blessed Bow and Elfin Bow, I went with Elfin Bow as having the cooler name, just because I can imagine someone saying, "Where's my Elfin Bow?" And that was enough to push it over the top and declare it the coolest name. It looks like a pretty good weapon too, because as you can see from the top screen, it can be used in either log phase or chaos phase. So good range here, good weapon. The request was to upgrade it to 2 rush count effects, so we're going to go ahead and do that. 94% likelihood that this will be a good upgrade. Will cost some orbs and mediums, but we have plenty. Okay, it worked out. You can see from the upper left that the power went +3, so we've gained 3% max power. In the bottom, it says 42% to max damage. It used to say 39. We've gained 3%. Alright, let's do it again. Another +3 power. No rush count effects yet. Failed. Alright. So we lost a duration because it failed. Not the end of the world. We still have 27 durability left, so we can keep going. It failed again. Huh. There we go. So our power went +4 this time, and if we look at the bottom left, we gained a rush count effect as well, 31. Let's see. Enemies will attack less often if we achieve that rush count. So hey, not too bad, I like that. Alright, let's keep going. The order was for 2 rush count effects. Another failure. That's okay. Power +3, but no new rush effects. And power +3 again, and another new effect at 90. That's kind of a high one. Critical attacks to flyers. That's interesting. We've not seen a critical attack yet. There are some pretty unique circumstances that have to be set in motion before we actually can land a critical blow. But in this case, it looks like if we get the rush count to 90, we can do it. When an enemy suffers a critical hit, then their hit points are reduced to 1. So yeah, it hurts pretty bad, and it's pretty nice to have happen. But again, it's kind of a circumstantial thing to happen. Well, so now we have an option, hopefully. So this was a good weapon to upgrade. This worked out really good. Alright, we had another request, and I believe this was for a Paladin Lance to get to +7, if I remember right. So we have 2 +6s that I can safely fuse because they have the same upgrade level. So I went ahead and put them together, that stacked them. And now it's just a matter of upgrading it one more time. It does have an existing rush count effect, 83. Let's see what that is. Sanctity bullets do no damage. Well, I like the sound of that. So Sanctity monsters wouldn't be able to hurt me if we got that rush effect. Alright, failure. Another failure? Shit. Failure. Oh my gosh. We are losing a duration every time it fails. There we go, finally. Power went +2, and then we gained a rush effect of the number 10, whatever that is. Let's see what it does. The wisp cannot be hit for 10 seconds. Wow, holy shit, I like the sound of that. Especially with a rush count of only 10 needed for it to trigger. That should be pretty useful. I think we'll definitely get some use out of this weapon. So good call upgrading this one, I like this. Alright, finally we had an elegant spear that we're going to upgrade until we get 2 rush count effects. Briefly, I wanted to show this Chaos Axe. No items are usable as a rush effect, and Darkness Bolts do no damage as a rush effect, so a good one and a bad one. And you can tell at a glance by if the number is shaded in or not, or excuse me, the background where the number is on. Anyway, back to the elegant spear. It looks like we have 3 of them at +4, so they can be safely stacked. When that happens, the durability stacks with them, and then there's only 1 of them instead of 3 laying around. Alright, now that they're stacked, we can go ahead and start upgrading them. Idea is to get 2 rush count effects. Alright, right out of the gate, we got a power +3 and a new rush effect at 56. Items can be used at any level. That's kind of a questionable one. I'm not sure how much use I'll get out of that. To get a rush count of 56, that takes some doing, and it seems unlikely that I would have equipped things that knights on the field wouldn't be able to use, in the hopes that I'd be able to get to a rush count of 56 with, I guess, other items. So, good to have that as an option, don't know if I'll use it. Alright, another success. Power +3 and a new rush effect at 87. And a positive one from the looks of it. Females go high with any element. Now this is interesting. What this is saying is that the weapons that can be overcharged, that can usually be done if the weapon allows for it and if the weapon matches the elemental affinity of the knight wielding it. What this is saying is if I get a rush count of 87, any female knight on the field can overcharge without regard to the elemental affinity. So that could come in handy, you never know. So good to have that in our back pocket. Okay, I think that's all of the requested upgrades. If I miss any, please call me out on the forum. It's certainly possible that I've missed something. And we'll do this from time to time as we see fit. The idea is just to get some more rush count effects in the game. Having said all that, I'm actually going to start preparing for the next stage now. Slasher, this weapon we've had since the very first stage. Weapon for the Warriors Law phase. Always been there for us. Low-level weapon, but it's always been there. We're going to use this. I have 2 Slasher +1s. I don't know where I picked them up at, but since they match the same upgrade level, we can safely stack them. So now we have 1 Slasher +1 with duration of 22, and I'm going to begin upgrading it. Power +3, no rush effects. Power +3 again, a new rush effect. It's a -1, you can tell. 46, let's see what it does. Enemies will move faster. Well, great. Alright, that's fine. Walk it off. Let's go another one. Alright, power +3 and a new rush effect. A positive one this time at 3. Let's see what this one does. Attacks charge very quickly. Now this is huge. This is going to be instrumental to the next scene. It's going to be very useful. And an added bonus, we only need 3 of a rush count of 3 in order to trigger it, which will be pretty easy to pull off, hopefully. Alright, the next thing I need to do is we need to level our Hermit, Moira. She's currently level 20. I need her at 22. So we go ahead and give her some experience. But if you look, she's hit her max level. She's at her cap now. Well, that's no good. I need her to be level 22. I need her to level up again. Well, she has to go beyond her cap, so you know what that means. Yep, we need to transsoul someone. I went through the list, and Rolenta has a pretty good outcome if she's transsouled to Moira. Let's see, where's Moira at? If we see above Moira's head, the thought balloon, Moira stands to gain quite a bit of vitality and a tremendous amount of law index if this transsoul goes through. And of course, her level max will also go up. That's the whole point of doing it in the first place. So this is too good to pass up. Sorry, Rolenta. It's for the best. So as you can see, her max level cap has risen to 27. So I can now level her up to 22 like I wanted to. Vitality went up 8.29, that's not too bad. Law Index went up 11. Now remember, the maximum for Law Index is 100. So she went up 11% of her maximum. That's not too shabby at all. So this was a pretty good Transsoul for Moira. Now that that ugly business is behind us, I think all I have to do next is finally level her up to 22 where I needed her. And at that point, that should be everything we need. So go ahead and end the segment here and finally save it so I don't have to repeat this. Alright, here we are. Let's do the same we've always done, get our bearings and come up with a plan. First things first, I'm going to start loading some random items just in the inventory boxes because I want to get rid of those flashing touch things that are kind of annoying. Okay, let's check the knight situation, see who we can recruit, who we've got here. Okay, Gaish, I'm not sure how to say this guy's name. He's a wizard, and going by the yellow banner, we do have his key item. Okay, so he is recruitable. Joseph, another warrior, and we also have this guy's key item, we can tell from the yellow banner, so I can recruit him as well. Maria is here, and thank God she is. She's going to be instrumental to this stage. Her vitality, of course, is restored to 7.77, as it is every time she finishes the stage. And don't forget that Maria in Chaos Phase can actually hop around the battlefield, which is going to be mandatory. Furthermore, she has good Law and Chaos indices, so she can do good damage. Maria, thank God she's here. She's going to be quite important. Then we have an NPC here, Justin. I don't have his key item, there's no yellow banner. And same with this guy, I don't have this guy's key item. So I won't be able to trade them for a weapon, and you know what, that's fine, I'm over it. Okay, let's deal with the elephant in the room here, Melissa. Now, I know I say this every time, but that portrait is just awesome. I love the colors they use, and the design is gives her a kind of a graceful but menacing look to her, which I think they're going for. She is a dark angel after all. And you can tell from the description here that her attacks pack quite a punch. Death Thrust does 9 seconds damage, ouch. Disastrous Omen does 12.5 seconds damage, yikes. So more fun in games. From the bottom screen, we have the yellow banner, so I do have her key item. Yep, bosses have key items just like the playable units. If you look in the bottom, the yellow bar represents her health bar, and underneath that is her rage meter, which is currently empty. But as she takes damage, it will begin to fill up, and once it reaches the point where her current health is, then she'll be able to do her super move. However, if I give her the key item, it will slow down how quickly that rage meter fills. So that's definitely to my advantage. Alright, so that's the lay of the land, except for the main problem. There's 5 obstacles here that I have to destroy in order to get the key items out of. So that's going to be fun. Let's see what we got here. We got a sandbag. So some freaking sandbags is laying around I gotta beat up. Break to find a key item. Alright. We have a sling here and here. Break to find a key item, break to find a key item. And these are active. They will actually fire upon me, so more shit for me to dodge. Perfect. So these two have to go as well. And finally, there's a bridge here and here. These both have key items as well. So that's a lot to open up. The real issue here is that if you look to the top left, I only have 4 turns to do this. That's not a lot of time. In fact, that's going to be quite a crunch. To make matters worse, if we go back to Melissa, she only has 12,000 hit points, and that's actually pretty low. That's going to make it a problem because if I beat on her too much, she's going to die and then the stage will end. So I have to actually be careful not to hurt her too much while I'm trying to get these key items out of here. And all that has to be done within 4 turns. So, nice. Alright, well, I do have a plan, half-baked as it is. Let's put it into motion and see what happens. First things first, Gaish, I'm sorry. You're out, and Alonso is going in. Alonso, our Lance Knight. And Joseph is out, and his place we're going to put Johan. Now you may be asking, well, why did I pull out a warrior just to put another warrior in? I'll explain that, don't worry. Alright, well, let's load up some weapons. First off, Slasher +4, this is the one we just upgraded, and it has that positive rush count effect of, at a rush count of 3, attacks charge very quickly. We're going to be using that. After that, let's take out that thing and put in Battle Axe +1. You can tell from the title of the move it does, the Deep Swing, the fact that that's in yellow font tells you that this item can be overcharged. But only if the warrior using it matches the elemental affinity of the weapon. Well, this is a neutral axe, and Johan is a neutral kind of guy, so yes, he can overcharge it. And in fact, if I touch it, Johan lights up and flashes and says, yes, I'll overcharge it for you. Notice Maria does the same thing. Maria doesn't give a crap what the elemental affinity of any weapon is. As long as it has the ability to overcharge, yes, she'll do it. So that's good to know. Overcharging takes 1 whole vitality, which is kind of spendy. Remember, a skill attack that you use in most cases only takes 0.5 vitality. So it takes double the vitality, but it packs quite a wallop. Another issue is that once the overcharge is done, then this Battle Axe +1 is out of the round for the rest of the round. It's X'd out, you can't use it. You can use it the round after if you want, but it only has that single use if you overcharge it. Anyway, the reason why I pulled out Joseph, that other knight, was because he's a... where is he? He's fire-based elemental affinity, and I actually don't have a fire axe that he could overcharge. Everything I have exceeds his level. So, Johan can overcharge this and then destroy the sandbag and get the key item in one blow, which is going to be necessary because I don't have a lot of time to spend charging him over and over to hit the same thing multiple times. Now, because this is an overcharge, it's going to require 3 charge phases. Typically, we charge once for the range and then the second time for the power of the attack, but in this case, there'll have to be yet a 3rd charge just to get the overcharge effect. Fortunately, when he does that, he's going to be under the rush count effect of the slasher, the 3, so there's going to be a greatly increased charge time. So a lot of things are going to happen quickly. As for these other 2 slots, I can load up Melissa's key item. And this I don't need, so I'm just going to remove. So, here's our plan. Alonso needs to move here. That's his whole purpose. To move from here to here. And then to look pretty. Maria. Dang, I keep mixing up her name. Maria is going to hop forward so she's standing where this guy is, which will put her in range of these 2 bridges. In doing so, she's going to hopefully hit Melissa with regular attacks. Regular attacks, when the enemy is struck, only count 1 to the rush count. So that'll make it easy to reach 3. As long as Maria hits her 3 times using regular attacks, then we'll achieve the rush count effect. Now when that happens, there'll be a distinct noise, and then there'll be a display up at the top of the screen here saying triple quick charge time or something like that. That's my cue to grab this axe, give it to Johan, let him charge up quickly, and destroy this sandbag to get the key item. After that, then Maria will be standing here. If I put her in law phase, she'll plant her feet, she won't hop around, and then she can use the slasher to beat on these 2 things. Alright, this is phase 1 of this plan. Let's see what happens.
Engage!
So Melissa, talking about Maria, refers to her as the unneeded half. That's interesting. Alright, let's move Maria into position. One blow, so one rush count number up here. And here comes Melissa's bullshit. Here comes the noise. Alright. We have 3 times charge speed. Go for it, Johan. He's charged up. Alright, got it. In the meantime, we still have the fast charge, which Maria can take advantage of to pound on these bridges. Ooh. Shit. Melissa took a little damage there, but nothing too bad. 99, 99. Oh, we should be able to get this. The item's gotten. Okay, thank God. Alright, nothing left to do now but try and get some magic points. Oh wait, I gotta move Alonso, holy shit. Oh, thank God. Well, since we have time, we might as well have Johan destroy that sandbag. Okay. Not too bad, we got 3 of the 5 key items. Melissa's health went from 12,000 to 9,000, so she took a few hits, but she's still standing. Time for phase 2. We pull out Alonso, we put in Moira. We leave the slasher in because we still want that rush count effect. But Moira is going to be using some daggers. We have a jackknife level 22. And once again, you can tell from the font of the attack, Blizzard Slicer. It can be overcharged as long as the Hermit matches the elemental affinity. And as luck would have it, Moira matches. So she can overcharge that. She's going to be using it to hit these 2 sling things. Unfortunately, these things can take quite a beating, so she's going to have to load up another one. Remember, after she overcharges once, then this dagger will be out of commission for the rest of that round, so I'm loading up another one so she can hit him again. Even then, she's not going to be able to get him destroyed this round, and that's fine, we'll do it the round after. I'm going to pull Johan and put in Joseph, and then throw in his key item. Alright, so plan is Maria land cheap blows onto Melissa, get the rush count back up to 3 again, which will activate the fast charge. Then Moira can quickly pound on these 2 things using the overcharged ability of these daggers. Of course, we'll recruit Joseph at the same time, too. Let's do this.
Engage! It's my turn, eh?
Now this kind of sucks because I have to hit this OK to resume, but of course I've lifted my stylus, and so the Whisper's going to react to where my stylus is, and I'm going to run into that attack that I just narrowly missed. Son of a bitch. Oh, hopefully I can dodge it. Ah, fuck, no. That sucks. Alright, well, it's all Melissa's fault. Let's take it out on her. We have a rush count of 2. Let's get a third one. Here comes that distinct noise. Melissa's going to get a little of this damage, but not too much. And Melissa's rage meter is full, so she's pissed off. She's going to do her super move next. I hope it hurt. Good. Here we go. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Let's grab some gems here. Alright. Melissa went from 9,000 to 6,200 HP. Not too bad. Okay, this thing's at 87% damage, 91 here, so one more ought to do it. Let's pull out Joseph and put in Geish, or whatever his name is, so we can recruit him. I think this is a good combination. Moira should only need one of these to destroy these after we grab the key items. Then Melissa's fair game, and we're gonna do our best to beat the shit out of her. So I'll leave this other dagger on the field just in case Maria has a chance to overcharge it and pound on Melissa. I think this might work out. Let's see what happens.
Engage! Activated. I will show no mercy.
And I don't really care if Melissa gets hit here or not.
This jagged ice will tear your flesh. Follow my lead.
Nice.
I'll take you down.
Moira's loaded up with the overcharge. I did get the key items, so all we have to do now is kill off Melissa. Hey, we did it. Huh. I hate to interrupt a cutscene, but I do need to interject here. If you notice, this is set 4 nights before the tragedy at Aventhium Castle. Unfortunately, that is certainly a typo or a mistranslation. We know this because the font that we just read, the text, described after the king's death. Well, the king died during the tragedy, so there's no way this happened before. I just wanted to clarify that, and I'll shut up now. Alright, once again I cut out what I did during the inventory screen. All I really ended up doing was I leveled up Johann to his max, and that's just for the simple reason that his vitality was getting a little too low for my liking. So to delay the inevitable, I went ahead and leveled him up a few times, so he's got some more vitality to work with. Okay, having said that, let's move on. Alright, and that brings us to the next scene. So, what did we just see? If you recall, during the fight with Melissa, she did refer to Maria as the unneeded half. And now we just got a cutscene with Melissa basically talking to herself and explaining she cast aside what she didn't need, cast aside part of her that was preventing her from becoming stronger. And from the sound of it, that was Maria that she cast aside. So, that's interesting. And now both halves are trying to find this Holy Staff and Cardia. Alright, aside from that, it looks like we have just a typical fight here with monsters. A bit of a reprieve. I have 11 freaking turns, thank God. I can actually breathe a little bit. So, I'm looking forward to the next stage, and hope you guys are too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.